Good afternoon. It's the BizValGuy, Jim Turner, CPA. I just wanted to share with you all today, what do you need to do to get your business value? So when we get phone calls and other inquiries via email or internet, one of the first questions that comes up during the course of the response that I have from the would-be client is, what do I need to do to get my business value? And the very first thing that you need to do is need to begin to gather up certain financial information. You're going to need your most recent 3 years worth of business tax returns and financial statements. Now, if you don't have your current year business tax return finished, that's okay. We can utilize the most recent year financial statements. So, for instance, right now, if you were wanting to get a valuation done, you would look at the most recent 3 years business tax returns, which would be 24, 23, and 22. You would need to get those together. And then you would also want to get your 24, 23, and 22 financial statements, which are the balance sheet and profit and loss statements or income statements for those 3 years as well. And those financial statements are calendar year financial statements. So you wouldn't necessarily need monthly financial statements, but you would need like a January 1 through December 31, 2022, 2023, and 2024 profit and loss or income statements and balance sheets as of 12/31 of each of those 3 years. So now that you have your 3 years worth of data, you would want to also have current year data. So you may want January 1 through June 30 of the current year, whatever that year happens to be, the most current year. And that will get you started in the right direction. The other data that evaluators are going to need, including us, is we will need information about your fixed assets, which we can likely get from your financial statements or your business tax returns. But sometimes in the case of a business that has a significant amount of assets, like a contracting company that does grading or hauling, we may need information about more specific information about each asset, as those assets may be very valuable. Also, certain manufacturing ventures, we may need more information on your manufacturing equipment than we can find within a federal business tax return. And then once the process gets started, after we analyze the 3 years worth of financial statements and business tax returns and the current year interim, at some point, we're going to reach out to you with a management interview, and we're going to ask you questions about your business. Some of the questions that are common to about every business valuation include questions to normalize the owner's salary. And what that means is that as owners, we can pay ourselves a small salary, we can pay ourselves a market salary, or we can pay ourselves a rather large salary, one that's above market. And we will ask questions to help us to do a study on your position to determine what is the market wage for your salary. Because ultimately what we're going to do is we're going to start with those historic numbers from the business tax returns and the financial statements, but we're going to have to normalize those numbers to economic reality, which just simply means to what the numbers would be in actuality if everything was normalized to the true cost. And for example, in that with the officer's comp, if you're paying yourself $50,000 a year for a $100,000 a year job, then the normalizing entry is going to be to increase or normalize the officer's comp to the market. So that would be an increase in wages of $50,000. Conversely, if you were paying yourself $200,000 and you were doing a $100,000 job, then we would reduce expense by $100,000 because you would have been overpaying yourself by $100,000. So we will go through and create a checklist so that during the management interview, we will ferret out all the expenses and income, if there are income items that need to be normalized. So again, in summarizing, you need to get your 3 business tax returns, most recent, 3 financial statements, and then you need to be prepared to answer questions from a valuation checklist or management interview. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you have questions that you would like answered about selling a business or buying a business, please let me know, and I will make a video to try to uh, address your concerns. And as always, hope you have a great day. From Jim Turner, the BizValGuy. Thank you. Bye bye.